Hello there. I am on page 18 of your student work text, and we are looking at terms that relate to how the earth changes. The earth is constantly changing, it's constantly evolving into different conditions. So I want to go through some of these with you. Some of them you may have heard of, some of them you may have not heard of. They're pretty tough terms. The first one starts with continental drift. Now, this one you may be able to figure out if you know that continents are the large land masses, and drifting means to sort of float or move slowly. So, continental drift is a theory, can't be proven, but it can be supported. A theory that describes how the continents moved on the surface of the earth. So we're talking about the crust of the earth to their current positions. And I'm going to try to find quickly a world map, if you will bear with me. I should have one already saved, but I don't. So let me just look here for a world map image. And then I can show you what this is talking about, hopefully. Here's a good one. If you look at this world map, well, that's not a very clear image, is it? Here's a better one. If you look at this world map, you can sort of tell where the pieces of the earth once fit together. So if you, let me see if I can copy this just to bring into our picture. I can. This may or may not work. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Well, it did. Okay. And I will remove this. I know you don't have this on yours, but let's look at it first. This is a map of the world. So do you see how Australia, let's start down here with Australia, how Australia could have possibly fit right in here. You see this tip of India could have fit right into this space. That this edge of Brazil could have fit right in there, in this part of Africa. This part of South America could have fit right in here to the Gulf of Mexico. Perhaps that at one time this was closed up, that there wasn't water there, that it was all collapsed together. That's what the theory of continental drift is talking about. That at one time, all of these things were connected, and then they have floated apart. The continents are drifting. They're moving very slowly, but they're constantly in motion. Okay, let me see if I can get rid of that picture. Oh dear, I didn't get rid of my writing, so we don't want that in our definitions. Now let's get rid of the picture. Okay, the next term is deposition, and I'm going to sound this one out for you. That's schwa, depa, deposition is the process of rock and sediment. Sediment is like dirt and sand. The process of rock and sediment being deposited or left behind. If you think about when the ocean tide comes in and then it goes out again, it leaves behind things. It leaves behind sand and shells. That is deposition. It's leaving behind pieces of stuff. Erosion is also movement of weathered rock from one place to another. And to illustrate this to you, I want you to close your eyes and imagine a mountain of rock. Okay? So just picture in your mind this huge mountain of rock. And then a river starts to flow. And over years and years, that river flows and flows. And then you can open your eyes. Here is an example of what erosion can do. Over years and years, that river has flowed through there and has cut away those nooks and crannies of that canyon. That's an example of what erosion can do. It's a very powerful force, but it takes a very long time to occur. And here are just some images of the Grand Canyon. Look at that one, where water and weathering have eaten away and caused that canyon to form. Mother Nature is a very powerful force. And here you can see the man standing on the edge. Okay, back to the terms. We've got the word fossils. Fossils are naturally occurring. They're found in nature, so let's say naturally preserved remains. Or traces of animal or plant life from the past. And I'll try to find you a picture of this one too. The internet is a very good thing. Naturally preserved remains or traces of animal or plant life from the past. And let me see if I can search for an image of fossils. Just so you can get an idea of what that looks like. Here's a good one. You can see that fish obviously passed away, and that's the preserved remains. Here is a fossil of some sort of animal. Fossils. There are some fossils of plant or algae. I'm not sure what that is exactly. So these are images of those once living creatures or plants that have become fossilized. That one's pretty impressive. Okay, the next term. This is a tough one to pronounce, so let me sound it out for you. This is Igneous Rock. And these are rocks that form when magma, which is melted rock or lava, cools and hardens. So think about a volcano erupting, the lava comes out, and as it cools, it hardens. That lava hardens back into solid rock. And let's see if we can find a picture of igneous. And all I'm doing is typing in the term and the word image, and that will give us pictures of igneous rock. And you can see that it has lots of different colors and forms. It's very pretty in my thinking. My favorite one is obsidian. And let me see if I can find you a picture of obsidian. It's very black and shiny. It's a beautiful, beautiful rock. And that occurs when lava or magma hardens and cools. Beautiful rock. Obsidian is an igneous rock. Another type of rock is metamorphic rock. And we've already identified morph. Let's be sure that that's a morpheme. Morph means to change. Yes, we have it on our list of morphemes. Morph is to change. So I can guess that this rock has something to do with change. That something has changed or will change involving this rock. Metamorphic. Let me sound it out for you. Metamorphic. Metamorphic. And this is a rock that is formed when existing rocks here comes the word that we're looking for with morph. Change due to heat and pressure. So when a rock is exposed to heat and pressure, it's called a metamorphic rock. It changes its form. And as soon as that change occurs, it's a metamorphic rock. Okay, the next term is Pangea, and that's pronounced Pangea. Pangea. Pangea was the last supercontinent on Earth. And I'm going to show you a picture of this one. The last supercontinent on Earth. And you may be thinking, okay, what is a supercontinent? I know there are 7 continents now, but what is a supercontinent? So let's see if we can find a picture of Pangea. And I know we can, because it is such a huge part of science. So Pangea image. And here is a very good picture. Remember we talked about how at one time all the puzzle pieces fit together? Well, this is Pangea. This is when they were all connected. And this is your supercontinent, where everything is joined together and not separated into the 7 different continents. So those are images of the concept of Pangea. Here's a good one. Before is on the left. Continental drift occurred, where the continents moved around, and then you have the after effect of that. So Pangea is on the left. And today we have 7 separate continents. Well, Asia and Europe are connected by the Ural Mountains, but they're considered to be 2 separate continents. Okay, moving on. Plate tectonics. And we talked about this one a minute ago, but let me go ahead and sound it out for you. It's tectonics, plate tectonics, is the theory that describes Earth's surface and I will show you a picture of this one. This is Earth's surface as being made of rigid moving plates. I'll let you get this definition, and you can stop the video right now if you need to have a little bit of time. But remember, I showed you this picture back here when we did the weather terms. We talked about earthquakes. Do you remember this image that I tried to draw? Okay, that is plate tectonics. That's the same concept that we're talking about here. And I'm going to look up an internet picture so you can see a much better description. So let me type in plate tectonics. And guys, this is a good strategy. If there's something that you need to know about, just type it in with the word image and hit go, and you will get lots of these images. Okay, so I want to start with this one. This is a very good. Remember, we learned about the crust, the lithosphere, and the asthenosphere. This is showing you how a mountain range forms, because you've got one plate sliding under another plate. The plates are colliding, and when that happens, that mountain range is cropping up there. Let's see what our next one is looking at. This one is showing you here you can follow the arrows and see the one plate moving under another. Here is a map of all the plates, like our turtle's back or the diagram that I drew for you. So all these plates are moving around, and when they run into each other, things happen. So here's a good picture of plates. You can kind of see the turtle's back image in there, where they're little plates and big plates, but they're all colliding with each other. And that's when things occur, or moving away from each other. And then you get other features happening. Trenches form. Okay, two more, and we'll have this lesson done. We have sedimentary rock, and I won't do picture on this one. Let's just get the definition. We have rocks that are made from fragments of material. I might pull up a picture of this one. Such as sand, shells, and pebbles. Pebbles are rocks. Okay. You can stop the video if you need time to copy that. And here's a picture of sedimentary rock. When I was teaching science, I brought in some dirt and rocks and shells and all kinds of crushed up things, and we actually made sedimentary rocks in our classroom. We used a type of cement, plaster of Paris, to put that stuff together. It's a really good science experiment. You can see the sediment in this rock. Look at all the little pieces that are stuck together to make a sedimentary rock. Again, you can see those chunks in there. It sort of looks like fudge with nuts and marshmallows in it. It's that stuck together type of rock. You find a lot of these in rivers, and a lot of them will have stripes. That's a pretty good clue that you're looking possibly at a sedimentary rock. Look at this sedimentary rock. Can you see the fossils in there? I can't. Yeah, I can. You see the fossil that has been imprinted in that rock? So we can learn a lot about the past by those rocks. Term, and we'll have this lesson done, is weathering. Remember the picture of the Grand Canyon. It is the process of rock decomposition or breaking down. So weathering happens when it rains, when it snows, and that weather breaks down the rock. The process of rock decomposition. Okay, that brings us to the end of these terms. So I will see you in the next video for more definitions and hopefully more pictures. Have a great day.